Awesome.
There we go.
Nice.
All right. Who's the next? That actually dropped a little bit more than you'd think it would. It was pretty much on there. I'm sure it's disabled. All right. So who's the next customer?
Josh.
All right, Josh. What are you thinking?
There's one way at the very far end.
Yeah, that's the BMP one.
Yeah. I couldn't see if it has wheels to work on.
Yeah, the BMP one all the way out there. I think I'm looking at the right one here for you, but I'm not sure.
Next to the fence?
220.
Yeah, okay. It's not as far as you might think. It's about 625. So you're going to want to range at 6 and shoot a little high.
Alright, clear back west. I'm gonna wait, my guy's shaking a lot.
Ooh. Ah, spot on. All right, good hit. And that's a BMD, by the way.
Yeah, I couldn't see the wheels.
That's fine. Well, no, BMD is tracked. It's an airborne capable BMP, essentially.
Yeah, that's what I meant by the wheels, is I couldn't see what it had.
That's fine. All right. But you can see how, you know, it's got some serious range on it. The thing moves fast and it does a lot of damage. It's a very, very potent weapon system if you are able to use it. It's probably my favorite of the ATs just because it has so much possibility in it. So, yeah.
I would like a second shot.
I want to take a long shot. I don't know how far we have out there. If you could do that. Yeah. Just out past the yard. I think that's probably the best. Up past the junkyard. Actually, there's one pretty far out there. Let me see how far that is. No, it's only 650. There's you got to get it past the headquarters BMP that's out there.
So if you switch to HEDP, does the characteristics of the rocket change?
Yeah, it's more effective against infantry while losing some of its armor penetration.
Oh, I shot.
Yeah, okay, but it still follows the same flight path.
Yeah, they all follow the same flight path. Even the HE does, but the HE is very ineffective on some heavier armor. The lighter armor that we've been engaging, you know, the HEDP really won't do much against a, you know, a T-72 or a T-90 or anything, whereas an HEAA, or the actual AT rounds, the HEAA, or I'm sorry, the HEAT, the heat round will do more damage.
Okay.
But against something like a BMD has got, essentially, it's just paper. Just like you can put, I mean, the 113 barely is defensible against 50s. The Russian 14.5s will put a round straight through them. So, like the 113 is, you might be able to damage it heavily with an HE, but definitely the DP is going to do it. So it's all about gauging the targets you have. Generally, you'll get the rounds that you need for the task. But again, in Arma, there aren't that many, but in real life, there is just a shitload of stuff here. So we got a couple new people in here. Enix, if you want to take a shot here. We're working with the Maws. I don't know if there are any left here. There should be.
Alright, can I take a second shot?
Hang on. We got too many people talking. Okay. Yes, Ninja, but not. You'll take a second shot before I start mine, but we're gonna give Enix a shot here. Where
I can drop mine, Annex. You want one?
Yeah, if you would be so kind.
I'll drop it.
Thank you.
Okay,
hey,
and
you guys got room for one more?
Oh yeah, we got room for as many as we can get in here.
It's an HEDP round, so if you want a heat round,
they're more in the truck.
Thank you.
So we'll give a real quick spiel here, Enix. Do you know much about the Maws? Do you know how to use it? Have you gone through an AT course before?
Yeah, I think so. Target front, tank, prepping AT.
Yeah, well, that kind of stuff, but really what we're talking about is a little bit more kind of how we're operating this kind of thing. It's a recoilless rifle instead of an actual AT rocket. It has quite a long range. The maximum you can turn your range up to with your up and down keys by default is going to be 900 meters, but people have made shots out to 2 clicks. It's a really effective weapon system, puts a lot of fire on it, and the rocket travels fast. Or this is not a rocket; it travels faster than a rocket. This, the projectile. So you can engage at range. It is accurate. It is, yeah.
Yeah, always when you're firing at the targets, like more than 200 meters, we're supposed to aim higher above the targets, right?
A little higher, but generally because you can range this weapon, you can see that once you're in the optic, you should be able to range it up and down with your up and down keys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm on it.
Because you can do that, you kind of, we're not guessing the range because we're trying to do longer ranges here, so I will provide you, you pick a target down there, there's still a bunch of vehicles, and I will provide you the range.
Bearing 200, you got it?
It's the BMP-1.
Yep, on a slope.
Actually, that's a BMP-2. Yeah, it's only about 270, so range it.
Yeah, we need something.
Well, there are a bunch farther ones. There's a...
Look at bearing 192. I've just placed the shield for them. It's about a click. Just maybe more than a click.
Well, I want to hit the click one. There is a...
Something like
From right here, there's a
500.
BMP... there's a BMP-3 at 200, and that's about 560, so range it to 600 and shoot a little low. Remember to call out for your back blast. The thing's got a nasty back blast.
Yeah, sure.
So whenever you're ready.
Just...
what's the password?
Should be the same as the regular.
Well, I don't think it is. I had to put a Burns to join in.
Testing is Burns. This is Oatmeal.
Yeah, this is definitely
Weird. Okay, anyway, so my target is bearing
200. Should be 200 from your position.
Yeah.
It's at about 560, so range it out to 600 and shoot a little down, shoot a little short.
Okay, is that the one amongst the wrecks?
Yeah, it's in the junkyard. It's a
By the
BMP-3.
rocks.
Yes, it is by rocks.
Okay.
Yep.
Back glass clear.
Oh, hold on. Bratza, move away. You're too very too close.
Okay, you're clear.
Okay. Rocket.
Ooh, over, too far.
Yeah, you got to shoot. If it's something like that, if you're going above it, remember you're probably going to want to shoot with the middle of that crosshairs lower than the even lower than the wheels on the ground because of the range. I've got another round here. I'll drop it. You can try that again. Okay, rounds on the ground.
Picked up.
All right, so load it in your weapon, and remember so just pull out your maws and then load it in. And
loading.
This is a weapon that takes a lot of feel. It's unguided, but again, and I just said it, you can make some great shots with it. If you know how to use it, it's very capable. So again, you're going to be shooting you're going to range out to 600. You're going to shoot a little short.
Right, clear back blast.
You're good.
Rocket.
Ooh, that's
Man,
pretty
that was
goddamn short.
Too short.
I mean, that
Was that at
where
5? Did you range it 500 or 600?
Yeah, I did. 5.
You ranged at 5?
600. 6.
Okay, well,
Weird.
I don't
Yeah,
know
well,
why.
I was aimed in not right of a target, right below it. So.
Okay, well, this takes some feel, so I'm not going to expect you to be nailing things right off the bat. I'm going to take a couple shots here. I'm going to hopefully this won't be a debacle. I'll be able to actually hit this Shoka.
Where is the shoulder?
Jackson put it out there.
It's 192.
I see it. 1100.
Can you do that?
I'm gonna try.
There's also cars next to that if you want to let the others try after you.
Yeah. Remember when you hit this distance, oh, this is 1100, so it's going to be mean, but let's see if I can do this. All right, clear my back blast, so guys.
Okay, looks clear.
Yeah.
It wasn't clear.
Ooh, short.
Very short.
That's pretty much as
That wasn't clear. Okay. Somebody did.
Yeah. Next time, don't stand close behind someone's deck block.
Yeah, especially
was
the
to his
Moz is
side.
mean.
Yeah.
Well, even the Moz can do that. All right, well, I think I'm going to try on this target again. This is still going to be rough. Yeah, go ahead. We'll all take some long shots. Let's clear my back blast.
Yeah, you're clear.
Where are you?
Ooh, a little bit.
Wow.
I was about a quarter of the way down the line.
Alright, can I take my shot now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright,
Ah.
blast. Let me,
Still can't
you
see.
set it. you
What's
set
the
it to
name? What's the
900,
name?
right?
Yeah, you set it to max because it's at about 11.
Who's
Alright.
shooting now?
Ninja.
Ninja,
Okay,
so
yeah, it looks
you're clear when you're ready.
Alright, firing now. Please
Oh,
hit,
that
please
was
hit,
right.
please hit, please hit, please hit, please hit. Oh,
I think a little over.
just a little.
Can I have a try?
I can't find where you guys are shooting.
Yeah, go ahead.
What was
I
the
thought
range
I
on
hit
it?
it, but like the
Range is
graphics
about
weren't right.
11.
Okay, Bradster and Bertrand, you're very close together. If one of you wants to shoot, then you might have to move apart a bit.
Alright, can we just shoot at random, or do we have to?
Alright, clear my back blast.
No, we're trying to
Back blast
we're
clear.
trying this one specifically.
Yeah, let's keep it organized.
Yeah.
Dick! Way
Oh.
to go!
There you go.
Hell yeah.
Way to
Oh,
go!
oh, and
I
it's
didn't even see
going
it.
off.
It wasn't popping up on my screen.
What's your view distance?
It's like 3,000.
Okay. You should be able to. It's out there. I'm not sure what to tell you. All right. I am going to. Where the hell did my Humvee go?
no
Timer
idea.
disappeared, okay.
Can you spawn another target at such range?
We're gonna try and put some more targets out there.
Let me
We need to move on to the toes right now. We're gonna do essentially later on. We're gonna in a half hour, maybe a little more. Once we've gotten through all of the concepts here, so we're gonna use the toe, and then we're gonna talk about usage and meeting scenarios, defense, all that kind of stuff. We're gonna talk about that for a little while, and then we're gonna come back up here with all of the essentially every type of AT, and we're just gonna start spawning enemies and taking them out. Where are you? Oh, you're down there. Yes.
You just run over a person.
Annex. Why'd you move it? Okay, well, we're gonna actually have to move back. Everybody, we're gonna take a couple minutes here. Anybody who wants to come back to the base with me, get in the Humvee. I will be driving, and we have to get tows, so we may need a second vehicle.
I get some help.
Where are you?
Behind the Hyundai. I'm on the ground.
Why don't you just respawn? It's just gonna be easier. All right, guys. We are going to go back to the base. None of you have to be here for the next, if you need to take a piss or get a beer or whatever, do so. We're going to be getting some tows and coming back up here. and then we're going to have to set up some more vehicles. All right, everybody in the SOF Humvee that needs to, or at least wants to be.
Yeah, where I wanna
Okay.
be.
That was quick.
Yeah, we're gonna drive this in. So
You want some extra vehicles, B?
I am going to spawn another one or two. While I'm doing that, if you guys could fill up, put tow launchers, the tripods, at least 4 tow launchers, the tripods, and the tow magazines, the missiles in there. I'm gonna go spawn another couple. So we're just gonna fill up as much as we can here.
So what kind of rounds do we need to take again, sorry?
Tow magazines.
So those are all going to be in the CSW crate. If you want, we're going to keep these vehicles while we do our free fire sessions too. So if you want RPG 29s or weird shit like that, put it in there. And the ones
Right,
that
so
I'm going to bring in here.
Tow tripod. Is it tow and tow tripod or just tow?
Both.
You need both. We're going to go through the whole close support weapons thing. Not a problem, man. Thanks for helping out.
I picked up addiction by mistake. Or dishcom.
Okay, if some of you guys want to come out here, we've got 2 more vehicles that we're going to be moving around here. Hey, who's engaging out on the line?
Not me.
Okay,
Right,
well,
I think
we're
we're
going to
good
stop
enough.
firing. We're going to stop firing right now out on the line while we deal with this. We're taking a break. No more firing until we get back in. I'm going to move the SOF Humvee out. If somebody could move the open top in.
Alright,
Or Ninja, if you think you can drive it out of here without hitting anybody. Everybody get out of the way. Ninja's going to drive the Humvee out.
Hold tight, 2 tow magazines.
Okay, Bertrand, why don't you let him...
Drive with the Q.
Okay, I'm done.
Oh.
You can drive, Ninja.
Yeah. If you can teleport, why don't you move it back up to the hill?
So it's move player, right?
Yes. Alright. I'm going to move this Humvee up. We're going to put more tows and more rockets in general into it.
How do you know when a vehicle's full?
Generally it won't let you do more things, but I think there's some sort of... I don't know. We're essentially not having an issue with it at this point. So everybody who's still here, we're just going to move everything there. If you want more exotic systems, Conquerors, Metas, anything else, put it in there too. We're just going to try and fill it up with as much as we can. Go ahead. We're not going to do it right now, but we're going to have a kind of free fire session later on. Put it in there because we'll use it later, but yeah. No, not now. We are not shooting right now. Well, we can go over how to use that. Okay. So just hang on there. We're still loading. It'll only be another minute or 2, and then we'll be out there. Fine. No AT, though. Yes, Titan, I am the instructor here. Maybe a little bit. We've got 7 rounds, 14 tow mags. We should be good here. All right, so everybody pile into this Humvee, and we'll get back up to the mountain, back to the firing line. Have you fixed your head bug? Go ahead. Alright, are we all in here? Yes,
Yep.
it appears so. Alright, I'm going to drive us up a little bit, so watch out, guys. Okay, I want you guys to pair up. My acre is disabled so that people can hear me.
Right. So who got tripod?
Here's what's going to happen.
Right.
I want everybody to fall back onto me in your pairs. You don't have to grab stuff quite yet, although it's fine if you do. So we can identify who is going to be working together.
Should pair with you.
So if you once you've found pairs, come back to me.
I'll be with
Okay,
you, Bridget.
who's
So,
got
yeah, Josh,
tripod?
that would be the easiest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a tripod and the other stuff and 2 magazines.
Yeah, I
we're
got it,
once we get this,
nice.
we're talking over each other. So,
Oh.
okay. Once you're ready, just come to me. It looks like I'll be working with Ninja. Hang on. I'm going to. Looks like we have a couple extra in channel who aren't in. I'm trying to see if we have other people who were going to stop by.
This is Scal. I'm having problems at the moment trying to get
Okay.
onto the training server.
What was the issue?
The issue was that when I got in, I was halfway in the ground. I was waist deep into the ground.
Did you have any issues going through 6? Was it all good?
Yeah, it's all good going through 6. I was on the primary server yesterday. That was fine. So I'm just running a check and repair.
Okay. Unsure. Sometimes you have some issues with this. Looks like.
Alright, can we deploy our weapons here?
Hang on, because I want to make sure. Okay. So the TOW 2 has a lot longer range than anything else here, at about 4,000-ish. It can change. So it is a crew serve weapon with 2 parts and 1 ammo part. We'll kind of deploy this, and I'll kind of make sure we demonstrate this first before we actually get out there and do it. The TOW magazines are not really magazines, they are 1 missile. The TOW system the TOW actually stands for Tube Launched Optically Tracked Wire Guided. And there are some kind of little flares out of the back of the rocket. The rocket itself has some interesting thrusts kind of where the rocket engines are moving. It spins in the air to better increase accuracy while it is trailing 2 command wires. So this is a SACLOS missile. This is probably, it is a heavy AT. It is generally not deployed below, at the very least, company level. It's generally, there might be a heavy AT team at a battalion level that would have a platoon, part of a weapons company. So it's generally not deployed at lower levels. It has significant range, significant power, but it is heavy and it is awkward to do, and it takes time to deploy. So this is really only in prepared fighting positions. So I am going to grab the full system myself here and set it up. You can actually do that yourself. Remember to put the TOW on your back first, then pick up the tripod and you have your tow mag. So generally you won't do this as one person. It's very heavy, and you will generally have 2 people here. Hey, why are we still, let's try not to hit people. So if you come up here with me to the south on the line, we're going to do this. So you start out, you've got your tripod on your back, or in your inventory, in your backpack slot, not on your back. You go to your ACE self-interact, you go to deploy tripod, then you'll have a ghost of it, and you'll be able to confirm or cancel the deployment in your scroll wheel menu. So I just did that. It's going to take me a little while to actually deploy the tripod. We really don't have enough at range. I may spawn some stuff farther out there at range so you can actually hit it, because we have a lot of stuff close here. So now my tripod is deployed. Definitely whoever just deployed that one, I would move it because that's right next to my goddamn one. Once your tripod is deployed, you can pick it up back again. You can drag it using your ACE interact key, so you can move it around. Okay. Then you go into your, make sure that the tow launcher is on in your inventory. And then
NX, I'm deploying there.
Oh, you are?
Okay. So we go to our, once the tow, so whoever is holding the actual rocket launcher, you go to the CSW menu and you mount the weapon. So that's using your ACE interact. I understand that a lot of you may know this already, but just to make sure that everybody's on the same level, we're going to do that. Okay, now you have your weapon put together. You are then going to go back into the CSW menu using your ACE interact, and you are going to hit the load button to load your missile. There can be only one missile loaded at a time. Okay, that's fine. Now, generally what would happen is there would be, now this varies by the mission makers, but generally you will have at least one assistant, if not more. But if I was just to do this myself, what I would have, you'd have the gunner with the actual launch tube and 1 magazine, and you would have the assistant with the tripod in 1 magazine, at least 1 assistant, and then some extra ammo here. So what would happen is tripod goes down first in a designated place that the gunner wants it to go. We assemble the rest of the weapon. The gunner puts the tube on, and then the gunner loads it, and the assistant stands by with his reload. There is a backblast on these weapons. You will need to watch that. You have significant range here. Once you have deployed the full weapon system and loaded it, you are able to move it around by hitting carry, and you are still able to move it around here. So that might be an option you might want to use if you, say, wanted to pop over a hill and deploy it. So you didn't want to take so much time. So you would you would build it in a valley somewhere hidden behind a house, and so you've built it and you put your round in, then you carry it around to the engagement area and drop it, and now you're ready to go. Now, in order to engage, you're going to get in order to actually use it, you have to get into the gunner's seat and use your optics key. That's going to be your default, your O. And at that point, you are ready to go. There is a thermal/night sight on this. It's a pretty big sight unit. You're able to do a lot of stuff, and it is accurate out to a very long distance. It is not the world's fastest rocket, but it will get there, and it will do the job. So let's see if we can get, who wants to engage this stuff first? Okay, Ninja. Do you have a target in mind? Actually, I'll designate one for you. They're all going to be very easy, but I'm not going to spawn this stuff until I have confidence that we can engage. So we're just going to do some very simple, very easy ones, and then we're going to start scaling out to longer distances. So why don't you hit the BMP3 from your position? It is going to be at those rocks, your position, it should be about 225. It's a BMP3 sitting at some rocks. It's in the junkyard. It's about 600 meters away. It's at your 225. Okay. Yeah, they've. I don't know if there's a lot of stuff out there, but yeah, it's a. No, it's side. Should be able to engage it as its side. That's the one that's alive. It's a BMP3. So, whenever you're ready, call your clear and then engage.
Alright, clear my back blast. Ready.
Alright, you're good.
Firing.
That was a BMP2 HQ. You did not get onto the target, but that's fine. You hit it. Target identification is important, guys. It's alright. It'll get better with use. No, it's not to the right. It is, I'm standing right at your position, so our compass directions, our compass bearings are going to be the same. It is approximately 220, maybe 225 from your position. It is closer.
That was 220, but never mind. At least I blew it up.
You hit the target. You may be... Yeah, it looks like the... Whence you're aiming, I didn't know that there was actually... There... That was not on your bore sight, so... your compass is not actually on your bore sight. That is something I did not know. Alright, so we see that. Fairly easy to engage. If you're going to take part in the class, I'm going to ask that you are on blue 4 instead of red 4.
I've reloaded my weapon.
Okay, that's good. That's another thing. It's very simple. It's like the initial. If you are... See, he's not even in the team speak, so I'm going to kick him from the server.
I'm here.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I've just never done this before. This is actually my first training session ever. Since
Okay,
I've,
that's good.
recently
This
joined.
is a more advanced class. You're welcome to join, and I can talk you through stuff that you don't know. But as of right now, I'm going to need you to move to blue 4, because there is going to be a point where we're going to be engaging enemy soldiers. So if you back out to the screen and come back in as any blue 4 soldier.
Right.
So you're going to need to... It'll be... You're going to need to get to... Yeah, you're good. Okay. So who wants to take a next shot? Anybody?
Bertrand.
Okay, Bertrand. Why don't you engage? There is... we're going to start... Alright, there's a T-90 out there directly to the left of the target that Ninja hit. You see where that is?
1 second. Yeah, I see it. Yep.
It's out there. It's probably only 50 meters from where that
Yeah, I see it.
BMP2 HQ was.
I see
Alright, well, call your back blast and then engage when you are ready.
it. Okay. Back blast clear.
You're good.
Firing.
Alright, good hit. Remember, that's going to be able to be moved. So I am going to try and hit a farther out unit here. I'm going to show you how this rocket can be steered quite dramatically. Hopefully this won't go terribly. I am going to be hitting a truck, a civilian truck that's out there. It is on the other side of the area, approximately 052105.
Where we blew up the... Where somebody blew up the Shilka really
Yeah,
quickly?
close to that. That should be about 1200. So we'll see this. So
Yeah.
I'm going to fire it off target and then bring it back on as it gets out there. Clear my back blast.
Clear. Holy shit. It's flying.
So it's a big warhead, and it's
Yeah.
it can penetrate a lot. This is going to be our primary tank killer. If you're playing a game, most games won't have this because it's so heavy and it's so easy to use. So I am going to have, who hasn't gone yet?
Bertrand.
I just fired it.
Oh. Forgot.
Set your view distance up by scroll down setting view distance.
Hang on, people are talking over each other. Okay, so the Braza, why don't you go ahead and we'll try and hit. There are a couple more cars up on that hill where I just blasted the truck. That should be good and far. See if you can hit. There's a specific one. There is a black SUV. Do you see that out there? Yeah, there are two. Directly to the left, maybe 10 meters from it, up to the left, there's a pickup truck. There's a Hilux. Do you see that? It's reddish.
Yeah.
Okay, that is your target, that pickup truck. See if you can thread the needle. Call your back blasts.
Okay, back blast clear.
Enix, you're good. All right, you're free to engage. All right, on target. Good hit. Okay, so we can see you can move it around a lot. If you needed to pop it over a ridge, that's much harder. You always want to have eyes on, but it's very steerable and it responds very well. The Dragon does not respond very well to a lot of movement because it doesn't actually, it farts. It doesn't actually really guide itself. So the Dragon doesn't respond well. But this is going to be a lot easier. It's a point and click as long as you set it up. The key here is going to be good communication within your AT team so that you can set this up quickly, you can engage targets effectively, and you can reload fast. So we're going to run a little bit of a half drill here. Who hasn't gone yet and wants to push forward? Okay, well, what we're going to do here is I am going to act as your assistant gunner, and we are going to try and put 2 rounds on target. Shit. There's a while out. I'm going to see if I can do something about more targets here.
Can you place 2000-ish?
We're going to do that later. This is, make sure everybody can hit it, and then I'm going to start spawning enemies out there.
Awesome. Also,
Yeah.
In Black Blast, the Bad Blast, is it just the shockwave that hurts, or in real life is it actually something coming out of the bag that could kill?
Yes, it's rocket exhaust, and it can kill you. Some people only get knocked down. It depends on the size, but yes, a rocket is going off right in front of there, and it can burn your face. And there are tow launchers. In the event, the tow launchers are going to be distributed amongst the squads. That's going to be finalized tonight. But there are going to be tow launchers in the event. They're going to be one of our primary means of destruction. I am going to ask Enix, why don't you hop into the gunner seat? I'm actually going to get some ammo here. Josh, go ahead with your question.
Are the Bradley mounted tows the same as the Cruiser?
They are. They are the
Okay.
same weapon. Some people say you can hit things out farther. I'm not sure about that. I do know that they operate the same. There's going to be a different gun sight, but it's not going to be that different. So Enix, what's going to happen is I am going to try and spawn something very far away. It's actually going to be up on that hill. And we are going to, it's going to be an enemy, but it's going to be a soft target. It's not going to be a hard target because I really don't want to have to deal with the T-72. But what we're going to do is engage that target, and then we are going to rapidly shift. I'm going to rapidly reload you. And then we are going to engage one of those SUVs, which is out there. So
Yeah,
locate,
I got eyes on.
locate. So I'm going to spawn a target that should be right out about there. We just drove over here. Oh, Saber, right. Just leave the vehicle there. So I am going to spawn it. You're going to get eyes on. You're going to call your backblast out. You're going to engage the first one. Once we have target destruction, if you don't hit it the first time, no biggie. We'll reload you. You'll get going. Okay?
Yeah.
So I am going to spawn it out there.
Okay. It's gonna be on that hill where there's already two.
Yep.
Targets
Should be.
taken out.
Should be. Let's see. It's going to be light. Kind of light.
That would
Should be out there, Shoka.
APC.
There's a Shoka out there.
What's that?
When you're ready to engage, it's
Oh,
an anti-air vehicle.
Oh yeah.
When you're ready to engage, do so. But remember, call your backblast, get everything out there.
Right. Backblast clear.
Okay. You're clear to go.
Rocket.
Loading you. Hey, whoever's shooting, can we stop that at? This is a course. It's not as regimented as other ones, but we're still not randomly shooting.
Got him. Is that it?
We're loading you. Remember, it takes a while to load here. As soon as as soon as you're back up, you're gonna take out that SUV, assuming you're.
All right.
Okay, closing in. Tube is back up. Call when ready.
Check backblast.
Clear.
Loading. Okay, rocket.
All right. Target destroyed. So it takes a while to reload. Remember that when we're engaging. It takes a while to reload, but it is powerful. It is easy to use. It is easy to move around. It is easy to hit moving targets with this. Maybe not incredibly easy, but a hell of a lot easier than anything, essentially, except the javelin. So do we have anybody who hasn't gone yet or has some questions? Yeah. You should lead it somewhat, but because you're able to control this rocket in flight, you are going to not need to lead it quite as much as you would because you're going to be able to control it. But yes, you should. Depending on how fast the vehicle is moving, if it's moving slow, like a tank, so maybe 25 kph, you're going to want to lead it by maybe only two vehicles, two vehicle lengths. But if it's something that's moving at a better clip or something that's capable of accelerating, lead it a little bit more. Generally try not to engage things that are on the move, but, you know, I mean, destroy the threat that is out there and do it as best you can. But if you can, wait until it has stopped or is slowed. And this becomes especially important with player controlled vehicles, because people will, oftentimes they will not see you. If they are unaware of your presence, it is oftentimes best to wait until you have a definite shot, then engage with a random shot early. Okay, so again, do we have anybody who hasn't gone, who wants to take the tow?
Yeah, me.
Who is that? Okay, Edwards. So have you used a tow before in Ace?
Nope.
Okay. Well, it's a crew serve weapon, and I'm going to give a real quick thing. There are two different parts to it, plus ammo. You put down a tripod. I'd have to go over this all with you separately. But it's a two different weapon. You put down a tripod. You will be able to shoot this. It's fairly easy. Once you get in as a gunner, you can then hit 0 on your numpad, which is your default, and then you are going to be able to look down the sights. It is a wire-guided missile, which means that as your sights move, the missile will follow those to its target. It has a very long range. It is a powerful missile. Edwards, if you want to come over to the right, there is... I am standing next to I have the M14, and I am standing next to a rocket that is loaded and ready to go if you want to get in it. It has a backblast, so once you are ready to go, you will call for your backblast. I am going to spawn a truck or something Let me see what my options are. And we're gonna, maybe we'll keep you a little closer. Just because you've never done this before. I'll find you a target that we have out there. Okay. Looking for a decent target. Okay, in the vehicle graveyard there, and that's going to be at your about maybe 200. There is a BMP-3 sitting next to some rocks. It is perpendicular to us, so it's facing away, so you're going to see its side. So let me know if you can see that. You're looking through the optic.
It's on the left, right?
On the left side of those rocks.
Yeah, got it. In front of the rocks. More or
Yep.
less, right? Yeah, okay, got it.
Okay, so that is your target. So whenever you're ready to engage, you'll call out clear my back blast, and then we'll make sure you're good, and then you're free to engage.
Clear my back blast.
Alright, you're set to go. Alright, good hit. Actually, yeah, looks like you hit it. Okay, so easy to do, long range, all of that shit. Okay, so we are going to talk over some stuff here before we start doing our actual engagement. So we're just going to take 5 minutes and talk over some things, and then we are going to I'm going to start spawning in some enemy, and we're going to blast them with all different types of AT. So we went over a number of different units: the Javelin, the Dragon, the AT-4, the Maws, and the Tow. Those are going to be your primary blue 4 weapons. There are also some red 4 weapons, but you know, I don't have forever here. So if you want to use those, maybe hang around a little bit later and we can start shooting. But for this right now, we're only going to use the blue 4 stuff. So the AT-4, the Maws are both unguided, as you know, understand when to use those. The AT-4 is a short range weapon. Really, I wouldn't take a shot at anything that's farther than about 400. That's not going to be something that you're going to be able to get long with. You can adjust the scope. You're good, you're good, you're good. The Maws, longer range weapon. Javelin, lock on, and a thermal sight. You can use that clue to look for things in thermals without actually pulling the rocket up. The Dragon, finicky, annoying, not as powerful as the Tow, but still capable to be guided and still can take out a lot of vehicles. Tow obviously is our ultimate here, but it's heavy, it's low on ammunition, it takes a while to set up and reload, and it's generally not in a lot of missions. There are a number of different types of engagements that you are actually going to be moving into with your AT weapons. In a lot of TVTs, you're going to have meeting engagements where there is one objective and 2 different forces moving in from spawn points that are apart from it to take that one objective. And now this can repeat in a lot of different ways, but essentially the definition is 2 opposing forces attempting to take one engagement where neither is already at the objective. So moving to those kind of engagements that's going to be a more complicated thing. You may want to take out enemy armor early, so you can hit them at a distance. You are more hunting armor there, but they do know that you exist, and once you shoot and reveal your position, they will attempt to destroy you. It's a little bit more complicated. I probably shouldn't have started with a complicated one, but that's your kind of TVT based engagement. There's also times when you are in the forest, and this is more a co-op, when the enemy is unaware of your position and you are attempting to destroy their armor that is out there. This is more a situation where the Javelin is best used, and it is also a situation where you want to take your time when actually engaging, especially if you're using a unguided round like an AT-4. You have time when they don't know your position, you don't have much ammo. Make sure you make that shot count, not necessarily get overexcited and engage. That is something I would stress for the entire use of them. Not just that, but make sure your round counts. In defense, especially with AT4s or RPG-7s, a short round, a shorter range weapon, you want to, and especially with AI-controlled vehicles, you want to wait until they close to engage. That is, you want to wait until they're as close as possible to engage. While you might have a degree of confidence of engaging with your AT4 out at about 300 meters, in a defense situation where you have a prepared position or a defensive position, you want to wait for it to get within 200 so you can definitely get that kill. Line squads, a very normal-ass 9-man United States Army squad generally has 2 AT4s, one for each of its riflemen. That varies a lot here. Mission makers give what they want. A line company should have a weapons platoon, and oftentimes that weapons platoon is disseminated to other platoons so that each of your line platoons, each of your rifle platoons gets a weapons squad. That weapons squad is generally 2 M240 machine guns with 1 javelin, 2 tubes, 1 clue. So that's 1 AT and 1 assistant. So those are what you're using. Javelins and AT4s for the most part. Exotic AT shows up, especially in more quote-unquote operator missions. You'll get the Maws. As I've said, it's probably my favorite AT weapon. It is very versatile. It has a long range, and if you know how to use it, you can make it sing. It is usually advisable, though, to use a laser designator or something, or at least have somebody who's good at that. So watch your distances. And again, working with the unguided, a tremendous percentage of hitting the vehicles is being able to guess your distance between them. So, more specifically, this, just to use an example, the actual GM event. And in that event, a lot of what we are going to be doing is defensive missions, but we are going to be using heavy AT because we are going to be getting a lot of tank. A lot of MBTs are going to be rolling up on us. So toes, javelins. And we're going to try and hit them out early with toes and javelins and then bring them in when they get tight, if they get close. We would be using the AT4s. And again, so this is wait until they're close. Make sure you make that shot count. Your distance of engagement is long with your toes, 4K, about 4 clicks. With your javelins, about 2,500. It won't lock on anything farther. That's probably a pretty good range, though, if you want to engage them. With your Maws, you're going to have your Dragon. Well, Maws is probably longer than the Dragon. As you saw, it's hard to range it out past 900, but you can still hit it. The round will still have a lot of power out there. The Dragon, between about 1,000, maybe 1,300, you will lose the cable after about 2,000. But it's hard to hit something that far out, especially how bitchy that round is. Other stuff, you know, your small, that's about 900 max-ish. We didn't use that, but if people stay around, we may use that for later. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Remember that those things are big targets. They're loud. Vehicles, that is, are loud. They are going to be... It's much harder for them to have situational awareness. Try not to give away your position if you can. Try to stay as close as you can and engage the target. So that's pretty much it. For this, we are going to do some live target engagement, but first we're going to hear any questions. Any questions whatsoever. I know some of you are recent here. Anybody have any questions whatsoever on the engagement? Okay, sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty basic. Make sure everybody, why don't we get our preferred? You can use anything. I'm actually going to limit it to anything we've tested here. So you can go to the trucks. You can get AT4s, Maws, Javelins, Dragons, or Tows. If you want a tow, there's extra rounds. You can just pop in there. Everybody get their preferred weapon, and then we're going to start spawning enemy vehicles in the boneyard first, and then probably out farther. They are going to be live enemies. They will shoot back at us, and we're going to be destroying them as fast as we can.
What is the difference between 84 and 84 CS?
That is the CS stands for confined spaces, and it means that you can fire it inside a building without dying.
Really?
Yes. The AT4 itself, the normal one, has a mean backblast, so you want to watch it, but the CSRS is able to be fired inside a building. Edwards, we're limiting this to weapons that we've tested today, so Maws, AT4, Javelin, Dragon, Tow.
Right, okay. Sorry.
Not a problem. Once we're all ready, get to it.